Hi, my tubies. How are you? It's Sheila Truelove. And today I want to ask a question. And I'm sure you have asked yourself this question numerous times. Why do I keep attracting narcissists? AKA mental patients. Same thing. It's not necessary that we or you or us, we tend to attract more narcissists than anyone else because anyone can attract them. It's just that certain people, like us, we tend to keep them around. Narcissists look for anyone who have things going for themselves, anyone who they feel have something that can help them in their life, and anyone they feel they can use. They see us as supply for them. As long as they feel they can get things out of us, they will keep coming around. You see, my narc, he knows he can't get anything from me. Not anymore. Not even sympathy. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully, I won't hear from him again and he won't bother me. And to me, he's dead. I treat him like he's dead. I'm hiding out, really. For example, um, us empaths, we tend to stay. That's why it seems like we keep attracting these narcissists. Everyone attracts narcissists from time to time. But our problem is that we tend to stay. For example, I'm going to give you an example. Let's just say that you go out on a few dates and you notice that your new potential partner is overly sensitive when it comes to being slighted. They always feel like you're slighting them. Okay? You're not paying enough attention. They're overlooking me. They need to be the center of attention and need to be admired most of the time. They ignore your feelings and require lots of reassurance about how great he or she is. You not you don't need you don't have to be a psychiatrist. You don't need to be able to diagnose a narcissist to be disturbed by this type of behavior. At this point, other people who are not empaths, like overly empathetic like we are, many people who have no knowledge of narcissism at all, they will politely disengage themselves from this relationship because the trouble of catering to the needs or being with this type of person, it outweighs any possible benefits. There's no benefit for being with this type of mental nut job. And that's what are normal people, even though empaths are very normal, because Jesus Christ, if you want my view, was an empath. He knew how to understand how people must be feeling. He knew how to have compassion. He knew when he saw people hurting or a little down and out, he would come to their rescue and try to build them up. That's all we've ever done. But I need you to ask, I have some questions I would like for you to ask yourself and I would like for you to think about. And this came from Psychology Today. Have you ever ended a relationship because the other person was too selfish? Do you have clear boundaries that you enforce about what types of behavior you will or will not tolerate? What about if a relationship is beginning, let's say, wonderfully and it's beautiful, but it quickly goes downhill? Do you stay in it anyway, hoping that it will improve? Do you put up with being devalued? That's one thing I can tell you, me. No, hell no. Anytime a person can't value me the same way you would value a diamond ring that cost $1 million, we're talking about one of those Elizabeth Taylor type rings. If you have a ring that's that costly and that beautiful and radiant, would you value it? And if people can't value me that way, no, I do not put up with being devalued. I can speak on that one ASAP. Do you make excuses for the other person's bad behavior? If the person's behavior turns abusive, do you leave immediately? Put your hands on me, we have a problem. My narc put his hands on me. I hung around for a minute because guess what? I gave him a beat down right back. This girl hits back. That's right. Most people, when they feel taken advantage of or uncomfortable, they exit the relationship and they never look back. But as empaths, we have this heart of gold and we keep trying to help and empathy. We have to put an end to that. We tend to stick around because we feel that the people can change for the better. We feel that sometimes if you love a person just enough, if you love them enough, this can bring about positive changes and bring out some good in them. However, We soon learn. That's never the case. It's not the case because narcissism is a mental disorder. That's like a person who has schizophrenia. That's never going to change. That's an illness that you can't change. A person who has cerebral palsy, a person who has Down syndrome. But that's not a bad thing with those people. You know what I'm saying. But my point that I'm trying to stress is that narcissism is a disorder. That there's no cure for that. So here's a few rules that we need to follow, just for our own safety. I know you're tired of having a broken heart. You're tired of it. I know I got my girlfriend. She's a mess. The other day, they had to call up the psychiatrist, whatever, and the ambulance had to come. She's now in a place for, when you have a breakdown. She's inside of one of those psychiatric places. So you have to have some rules. And rule number 1, if you have already rejected them for bad behavior, do not take them back. It is highly unlikely that they will change for the better now or in the future. Number 2, if they did not respect your boundaries in the beginning of the relationship, they damn sure will not respect your boundaries later. And lastly, my beautiful tubies, rule number 3, always listen to someone who loves you dearly. Always trust your gut. If being with this person makes you feel uncomfortable, or they regularly maneuver you into doing things that you do not want to do, he or she is probably not the right person for you. Trust your own instinct, please. And remember, it's not a good relationship if you repeatedly feel bad, or if at the end of the day, you are usually wiped out and exhausted. These people will take your last vampires. They will suck the freaking energy out of you. And anytime you see that you are repeatedly wiped out, it's time to dead that. You have to take care of yourself. I don't want to get another phone call from another one of my tubies that's just overwhelmed to a point where they have to go, go into what is that, CDPHP? It's like the psychiatric unit, because the girl had a nervous breakdown. This man did a number on her. I love you, honey. You know who you are. And all of your tubies out here are rooting for you. You go ahead, Sister Soldier. As always, you always have a choice. This is Sheila True Love. Choose wisely. I love you.